Oh my gosh, Tati has released her video. It's worse than everybody thought. Shane Dawson, you are a miserable human being. Jeffree we knew was devious, but they manipulated this woman to the point where she's had to move twice because she's afraid of her safety. She's afraid that once she speaks, they're going to come after her. Jeffree sent her that same voice memo. They were sending her tons of stuff. She couldn't show it, but she alluded to what was in it. Shane Dawson came to her house and told her what a monster James Charles was. My conspiracy a few days ago was that she fell for this very thing that she's saying. And the reasoning was because they were about to launch their stuff. Now, when I recorded that, I was thinking to myself, that's pretty far out there, Tracy. That's exactly what Tati thinks. And that's exactly what she just said. I'm going to play a little bit for you guys right now.
Away, but my guard was down from being heartbroken, and I allowed myself to be worked by Shane, Jeffree, and others. After my video went up, I was never served a lawsuit or any cease and desist letters. I only privated my video at the request of YouTube because YouTube said it was a bad look for their platform. James, I am so sorry that I allowed myself to be poisoned and weaponized against you. I'm sorry that I bought into any of their lies. Believing those lies and allowing myself to be gaslit into making that video is one of the biggest regrets of my life. I should have tried harder to reach you over those concerns in person. And I'm sorry for giving up on you. The information they were giving me was terrifying. I thought your career and freedom were in jeopardy. I was trying to get you to put your phone down and seek help because I was told there were a lot of victims that were going to come forward to destroy you. I was foolish for believing them. I was scared. I thought if I called you out, you would put your phone down and stop the detrimental behavior I was being made to believe was.
So she only took her video down and privated it because YouTube came to her and said that this is a bad look. Shane Dawson's literally been doing blackface on here and predatory behavior towards children for 12 years. And that wasn't a bad look for anybody at the time. There needs to be a boycott YouTube. There needs to, I don't know what we need to do to hold them accountable. We're all on here, so like if we boycott it, then there's nowhere to go. There has to be something. But she took down her video because YouTube contacted her? This is... It gets much worse.
And I just hope that you're still there. I got a heart attack. Last fall, I became so afraid to stay in my LA home that I bulk filmed a lot of videos and I left town in October to get away from it all. I was so upset that I continued to lose weight. I couldn't sleep, and slowly I became a shell of my former self. I had intended on pursuing fertility treatments in 2019, but my mind and body were just too frail. My mind and body were just too frail to support a pregnancy. It wasn't until the series ended in December, when James Charles and I met, that I started to realize what had actually happened. Over the next few months, a few people have bravely come forward with more information, and the pieces of what we believe actually happened are coming together. Make no mistake, this is far from over. I've been terrified for a very long time, so much so that I had to relocate again 2 months ago, and I have taken serious security precautions to ensure my safety. On the advice of my attorneys, I cannot share with all of you right now the evidence that we have accumulated of the events that have occurred. However, there will soon come a day where we will be able to present this evidence, and you will be able to see why it is we believe that Jeffree and Shane are responsible for so much of the damage that has been caused. I can tell you this. It's now my opinion that Jeffree and Shane were both bitterly jealous of James Charles's success. Jeffree resented that so much of his business was centered around his biggest rival, and Shane did not like that James Charles wanted to make a documentary. Neither of them were happy with standing in his shadow on YouTube anymore. I believe James Charles was gaining more followers and receiving more views and more press faster than anyone in the history on the platform. And it's also my opinion that Jeffree and Shane needed James marginalized and out of the way for their November launch of the Conspiracy Palette along with Shane's merch. I've also recently been informed that Jeffree is allegedly a co-owner of Morphe. Before the scandal occurred, I had also been told that James Charles was about to develop an entire cosmetics line with the owners of Morphe. This entire situation opens up a Pandora's box of speculation, but I'm just not sure anyone counted on this drama spreading like wildfire. In my opinion, that James Charles was not their only intended target. I believe that there are many different people who have unclean hands in all of this, and there was a coordinated plan to keep me quiet and push me out of the way for other business reasons. I do not think it's a coincidence that Morphe is about to launch their own brand of hair, skin, nail gummy vitamins. I do not think it was just Shane and Jeffree that stood to benefit from my being silenced. This was just too big. I think there were many players, and I have every intention of getting to the truth.
So they were going to have a whole series of victims come forward and put that in the documentary. Then they only included that tiny clip. Additionally, Shane said in his apology, in his quitting, I quit everything note, that he was aware she was making a video. He had nothing to do with it. He didn't know anything about it. However, she also debunks that. Like, are you kidding me? Did they think they were going to scare her into being silent forever? I think that that's what they counted on. That she was just this weak woman who was just going to be quiet, and that nothing was ever going to come of this. But as you heard, she is looking for the truth, and she's not going to give up. She's going to let all of this come out. And I think when it does, it's going to ruin Jeffree as well. We can only hope that it's going to ruin Jeffree as well.